It's lovely to welcome you all here today to Minnie Simcha, and I want to particular welcome to Tamara. Minnie's sister, who's come from Toronto, and from Israel we've got Minnie's first cousins. Mona and Ravana. Both sides. And then Minnie's extended family, in fact Izzy's family, but Minnie's extended family, Yoram and Chagit, and Sarah and Shmuel, who've also come from Israel. And just to say that in your memory, as a celebration of this event, on your 60th anniversary and Minnie's 80th birthday, 18 trees have been planted in Israel to commemorate this event. So thank you very much. Thank you.
So we're here to celebrate Minnie's 80th birthday. Minnie and Izzy celebrate their 60th wedding anniversary in August, and also really for the three of us to say thank you to our parents. So what better way with everyone gathered to share some stories about Minnie. Now there's lots of stories we could tell you, stories from Johannesburg, stories from university, stories from meeting Izzy, from starting a business in Margate, blah, blah, blah. But these are probably stories that many of you know better than we do. So what we thought we would do is share stories of our memories, the three of our memories of how Minnie's touched our lives.
So from the very first, Minnie has always showed us how to be a strong, independent woman. She's our role model. Both in her career and her occupation, she was a role model. She and Izzy were equal partners they are equal partners in their marriage, but they were equal partners in their business. And like Granny Shura, Minnie's mum, who studied agriculture in Lithuania and who was a farmer in South Africa, she was a very strong woman, yeah, like your mum. Oh yeah. And I'm sure, that's where she and Tamara get their strong commitment to healthy eating and natural foods, and have passed these on to us.
And we want to thank you all for teaching us to think for ourselves, to teach us what's right and wrong. And this comes from your lives, watching you swim against the tide, the oppressive tide in South Africa, and fight against injustice all your lives. So thank you for that.
And Minnie, you've been involved in the campaign for nuclear disarmament for many, many years. And we remember Min came with us, with me and Ruth and Sharon and Sylvia, to Greenham Common. And we all hold hands against around the thing and hope that we wouldn't be arrested. And also a free thinker in your Jewish identity, following in the footsteps of your dad, so Al Zabel, who was a secularist and Yiddishist. And as a result, we've grown up with a strong Jewish identity that's not a religious one, but it's one that we're proud to have and that makes sense to us in our way. So thank you.
Yeah. Next up is bravery. So, Minnie, you took the leap into the unknown by moving to England in 1973. Well, not into the unknown exactly, but it was hard. You left everything you knew behind and you moved to a new and unfamiliar country. And it turned out in the event to be even more unfamiliar than you expected, because we arrived at our flat in the winter of 1973. There was no furniture in the flat because the shipment had been delayed. It was the middle of the miners' strike. There were power cuts. There was a 3-day week. So we had a camping holiday. thanks to Uncle Michael, who is over here, thank you, who supplied us with all the camping gear. We were in this flat. And that's how we started. And then, of course, you settled us all into schools because we were all early teens. And thank you.
Now, you, although you were working, you still had time to make sure that we got the best out of the schools, and you really did a lot for us in that sense. And I remember very clearly how you helped me with my English homework so successfully that the teacher started taking a particular interest in me as one of her very bright students. And likewise, when it came to the sports team, I wasn't particularly good, but you went to the sports teacher and you said, you know, Alan loved sports. The next day I was in the first team.
So, Min, you've always been a really good sport yourself. 4 years ago, you took me and Daniela and Maya to Israel, and we remember having the greatest pleasure in slapping you with mud, front and back, head to toe at the Dead Sea.
Black mud.
Black mud, really hard to get off. Yeah, and I remember when I was in my gap year in Italy and you came to visit me, and we got lost on all the local Italian buses and stranded in Poggibonsi, and we had a good laugh. And Lynn also loves cheering on the young men in Reader Out with their big bells. Yes. And the 1st of August and the National Day, you're always good for a parade.
She's there down the front row. Along the road. Okay. Also, Minnie is, you made sure we had a great breadth and depth and out of school experience, breadth of our out of school experience. Not only did you take us travelling to all sorts of places, but we went to theatres, to museums and to galleries, and you nurtured our appreciation of classical music. You tried to nurture our appreciation. It skipped a generation.
And just to say that thanks again to you. We saw how you made friends so easily, and how important friendship was to you, and how that started in your school days, and you've kept those friends, and it's extended into the book and the music groups today. And we've seen how easily you make friends in the briefest of encounters. At any queue in the supermarket, on the bus stop, he's going to chat everyone up. So thank you for that, for teaching us the importance of friendship.
So, and of course, Min, you showed us the value of family, maintaining a global network from Canada to Australia and Israel and South Africa and the United States. And you know that before there was an internet, there was the minternet. And you may not know this fact, but actually Minnie was the one who invented blogging. What do you think all those newspaper articles?
The kids still at uni, they get their parcels of newspaper clippings. And speaking of cuttings, Minnie has done it all over again with our kids, with her grandchildren, Izzy and her. She's a fantastic granny. She's taken the children to theatres and galleries, always making sure there's a supply of cut-up apples and the sweetie tin that always gets taken out. And she's taken each child in turn on a trip to New York for their bar or bat mitzvahs. And at this point I have to turn to Mignon. Sorry, Mignon. Mignon is resigned to the possibility that her trip when she's bat mitzvahs would be, might be a walk around Kenwood. We hope not.
And finally, Minnie, just to, before we hand over to the grandchildren for them to pay a tribute to you, just want to say thanks to the two of you again, as Karen said, just for being wonderful parents. And just hope that the pain in your hip gets better very quickly and you recover quickly. And once
You
again,
celebrate again next year.
absolutely, and thanks for having this party.
Yeah.
Now over to Mignon, who's going to play a piece for us.
style of music.
Mignon, thank you so much for that lovely piece. Thank you so much. Dedicated to Minnie and Izzy. And our next tribute to Minnie and Izzy this afternoon is influenced strongly by Rodgers and Hammerstein in The Sound of Music. We've actually got the Von Shamroth Mishpocha singers who are about to step on stage. Go. So imagine Austria, we're talking pre-Second World War, Switzerland. Louis
and Lexi,
but they've already gone across the Alps.
yes,
To safety.
So Minnie, we know that the two things you love most are Switzerland and the sound of music. Obviously, anyone who knows them well will know that. So this is a fitting tribute. We hope you enjoy it. I'm counting it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Min and is and Min. We're so lucky to have you. Reader wells on sea, New York, Toronto and London. Sun, rain or snow, you have helped us grow. We're forever grateful. Min and is and Min. You're in our hearts forever. We never lack for news articles or a welcome for supper. Min and is and Min. Best grandparents forever.
Hey! Thank you very much for that,
Walks
guys.
and chairlifts and coffee at two Schmittens, Edelweiss dinners and marmots and kittens, mini golf lessons with It's So Much Fun, Switzerland times with Grandpa and Grandmom. Min and is, the best grandparents just happen to be. Min and is. South, the lodge where Min and is live. That route along the way to war. Timothy the boy with all their dogs. Articles to keep us well informed. Galleries so that we're nice and cultured. Rice pudding, the food we love the most. The hole in one that Izzy scores in golf. We love you lots, have a happy birthday.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, thank you. And now Tamara is going to say a few words.
It's not easy for me to just say a few words.
She's got her orders.
Jess, do you want to go into that space then? Lovely, lovely, lovely.
I had to make notes because I get up here and get so nervous. So I know it's interesting how you plan days, often weeks, months in advance. But I bet you never in your wildest dreams imagined that you would be sitting here in London in 2015 with 3 children and his spouse and 7 grandchildren. What a joy. So picture this. It was the 7th of August, 60 years ago, on a freezing day. The place, 8 West Street, Lower Houghton, Johannesburg, in the beautiful garden of Shura and Label Feldman. The occasion, a wedding. Under the chuppah stood the beautiful bride, Minnie Feldman, and the groom, Izzy Shamrock. 60 years later, in this room today, you'll be amazed to know that Minnie's matron of honor, our first cousin Mona Feldman Berman, is here. The coal holder, our brother Michael.
Hey.
And the only bridesmaid myself.
Oh.
And at this joyous occasion was also our cousin Jean.
Hey.
Campbell. And also our uncle and Aunt Ray and Jack
Zeidel.
Zeidel, and their children are here, as well as who else? Everybody. And my uncle, whom I learnt last night, Ravana's father, was there. And it's really wonderful that we are all here together today.
Yep.
Oh, give me a howl towel. Minnie, my darling sister. Minnie, you've been there for me all my life. Minnie was 8. Our brother Michael was 4 when I was born. And how are you suddenly 80? You know, if you work out the math where we were all at, teaching me, guiding me. Oh, thanks. That's, you know, it's the same as when you take a tissue and you're going to sneeze, you know you're not going to sneeze. Guiding by example and loving me, how to raise children, how to prepare a dish. Somehow you always seem to know what to do and generously shared your expertise and your experience with me and many others. In Yiddish, you're considered to be a Tushoma, a guiding light to everyone with whom you come into contact. Kindness itself, consideration for others, often at your own expense. I'm very grateful for who you are. Happy birthday, bis 120. And your generosity, not only of spirit, has, I'm sure, touched every person in this room. Your thoughtfulness goes beyond anything one could imagine or that I could say. On a birthday or an anniversary or something else, has always been acknowledged with a call, a card, or even now email. Welcome to the 21st century. Thank you for all the family gatherings like New Year's Eve and holidays, a place for everyone to connect and reconnect under the same roof, plus the rest. Hi Min and Iz, I'm in London. Oh, come for tea, or better still come for lunch, or maybe come for supper. I've got soup, I've got fish, I've got rice, I've got salad, we'll be together. Yeah. You and Izzy both introduced me to the ballet when I was young, and your love of culture, books, galleries and theatre has grown, flourished and influenced me, and I know many others. Not to mention how grateful I am personally that you had opened your hearts and your home to my darling Lisa until she was well established. Izzy Shamrock came into our lives in 1955. Izzy, my other brother. You have been the rock of Gibraltar. Is that the right date?
Hooray! No, I said hooray.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
He was even given a speaking part.
You've been the rock of Gibraltar, a solid, kind force for all those years, not only in my life, but in the lives of all who know you. In the early days when you teased me, it made me crazy. Now I know it's because you care. In all the years, everyone says only nice things about you. You are the epitome of a mensch.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Izzy, for your presence in my life. Now, your 2 siblings, it's now talking to you. Michael and I concur. We do, don't we? Yes. How much your presence means to us. Now, speaking of presents, I know you specifically asked for no presents. Well, I'm present, sorry. Because you know I don't always follow the rules and I'm here. And I carried something in the plane for you, which I gave you last night, which is in the hall, because I didn't want to surprise you. Happy anniversary, Minnie and Izzy. This is something that I found great fun creating for you. Now, I could go on and on as I'm known to do, however, it was suggested that we definitely don't want to spend the whole afternoon with speeches. Muzzle.
Thank you, Tamara. Minnie, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah.
Do you want to just come sit over here and so you're not standing? Do you want to say
And I know it can't be too long.
Okay.
First of all, welcome everybody. We're delighted to have this party and to be all together. And it's very special. that Mona, first of all, that Tamara came from Toronto, and she brought us that beautiful collage, which really is something special. That Mona came from Israel, and Rivana, and our lovely cousins, Yoram and Hagit, Sarah and Shmulik from Ranana. We very much appreciate having you with us. I have been a very fortunate woman, and I know that. I have very wonderful parents, interesting, stimulating, wonderful examples. I have 2 darling siblings, and when I was 20, I agreed to share my life with a wonderful guy. What did either of us know about marriage at 20? We didn't even dream that we could get together 60 years later, and that I would see my 80th birthday. So, as I say, I've been very fortunate. We have 3 wonderful children, and they each chose wonderful partners, so that we feel we have 6 children, and we have 7 very special grandchildren, as every grandmother would say, but they are special. And so I feel very privileged, and I'm very happy to share this lovely occasion with you all.
Thank you. Thanks, Minnie. Well done. Now, before we break and go and have some dessert, what we need to do is light the candles, and Minnie, you need to cut the cake, and we all need to sing Happy Birthday.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Minnie. Happy birthday to you.
Hang on. Blow your candles. Yes. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey! Mazel tov and Simen tov and Simen tov and Mazel tov, Mazel tov and Simen tov and Simen tov and Mazel tov, Mazel tov and Simen tov and Simen tov and Mazel tov. Yay! Yay!
On the chair, let's come on. For Minnie and Izzy, for the anniversary, we're going to sing Izzy and Minnie's favourite song.
Have a bit of muzzle, and muzzle means good luck. And if you have a bit of muzzle, you'll always have good luck. Have a bit of muzzle, and muzzle means good luck. And if you have a bit of muzzle, you'll always have good luck.
And Izzy doesn't want to be outdone. He wants to say a few words.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I said I'm going to say a few words so that I have the last word.
So that he can have the last
I
word.
first met Minnie 60 years ago. I was out in the evening with an old girlfriend of mine. Our affair was on the wane, and I was at the bat mitzvah. And I was at this bat mitzvah, and we listened to all the speeches, and after that she went to dance with somebody else to show me how popular she was. And I'm sitting at the table all on my own thinking, what a waste of an evening, when I looked across and I saw an attractive woman at the other end who greeted me.
Hey.
So I looked around and said, I looked around to see if it was me. She said, yes, you. So I got up and I went over to her. And
You said, will you marry me?
She was quite correct. She knew my name. She told me where she had met, and it was all perfectly correct. So I asked her to dance, and I was very pleased because she was a very good dancer. And while I'm dancing with her, I thought, well, I'm going to ask her out. So I asked her if she'd like to come to a movie the following evening. And she says no, she couldn't. She was going to a Julius Katchen concert. She had tickets for the concert. She couldn't make it. So I'm thinking, well, it's a nice way of telling me she's not interested, or she's interested in music. And just then she says to me, aren't I going to ask her out for another evening?
That's my girl.
Children taught the mother. So I asked her out and we agreed we would go to a show the following Saturday night, a revue show in Johannesburg. And
I had to get the ticket.
I said to Minnie, would she mind getting the tickets because I was going to Kimberley on business. So she said, okay, she'll get the tickets. And she said she'll get them. And I said, well, you'll pay for them. She said, yes, and I'll refund you when I get back. Now, the tickets in those days were 5 shillings and 1 penny. The penny was entertainment stakes. Huh?
The best seat.
The best seats, yes. So I owed her, when I got back, I owed her 10 shillings and tuppence. Now I admit I gave her the 10 shillings, but I didn't have change for the tuppence. So I haven't paid her back yet.
She's waited for 60 years.
I promised her in
Let me lend it to you.
I promised her in 60 years' time I will pay her back the tuppence.
Now is the time.
And I was, no, in 60 years' time.
Keep her waiting.
So in 60 years' time, I'll refund her the tuppence, and you'll all be witness, so you're all invited in 60 years' time. Yeah, same place, same time, same venue. You're all laughing. We'll see if you can all make it. Folks, enjoy the supper, the left of lunch today, and thanks for coming.
Thank you. Good. Everyone,
Dessert is next door.
come through, come through.